really need. Plus us own property, and let's own what we eat. And let's train our own people to protect our streets. Ujama, that's the fourth day of Kwanzaa. All 7 days should be NBA sponsored. NFL should treat Kaepernick as a martyr or a starter. Cut a check to George Floyd's daughter. That's a start. Say my name and respect. Cut the news. Cut the check. Say my name and respect. I was blind, but now I see. I was blind, but now I see. I was blind, but now I see. 1 trillion a year, let's just spend it on we. Spend it on we. 1 trillion a year, let's just spend it on you and me. Spend it on you and me. Spend it on you.
Buy Black for Life. Buy Black for Life. Good evening. Hope all is well. My name is Jerome Hurt, founder of the Buy Black for Life group, where we are in all 50 states, 99 countries throughout the world. I welcome you this evening. We normally do not come on during the week, but there is a reason we are having this during the week. It is National Poetry Month, and so far in the group, if you are part of the Buy Black group, I hope that you are seeing the amazingness of those who have submitted their poetry. It is powerful. It is amazing. There is so much more to come. But in a few moments, I hope to bring on 3 brothers that, listen, they are in the game. They are setting the trend in the game. I can't wait for this conversation to happen. And let me just say this. This is not scripted. My brother Ja Smalls, just to let everyone know who's watching, in a few moments when they come on, Brooklyn is gonna be in the house, okay? And my man Ja Smalls, he represents Brooklyn, as does his brother Mr. Witz. We have AJ Houston that's coming through as well. So it's about to be fire. So I hope that everyone will come through, give love. And this is the first that we're doing in a series on Wednesday evenings at 7 o'clock for this National Poetry Month. And I'm going to do a bit of a teaser. If you are watching, yes, Brooklyn, if you are watching, right, and you are a lover of poetry, the teaser, the icebreaker I have for you is put in the chat what poet inspires you, what poet moves you, what poet, when you heard their poem or you read their poem, got you like, man. For me, it's so many. I'm gonna start with Langston Hughes. That I've read his poetry. One cat who I listen to a lot also, and he's my man, 100 Grand. Is Kevin Powell. He was spitting way back. He's still dropping poetry. Ja Smalls, who will be here tonight, right? Ja has a show of his own where he has poets come on throughout all of Charlotte, North Carolina. And if you're in Charlotte, represent for Charlotte. Nikki Giovanni, Nikki Giovanni, I'm part of an anthology. If you didn't know this, I'm part of an anthology. Kevin Powell started a writer's workshop. And from that writer's workshop, we wrote an anthology. And Nikki Giovanni is part of that anthology. The name of the anthology is 2020, the year that changed America. And it's different genres of writing, where us as writers, we documented 2020, all that happened in 2020, the pandemic, the election, everything. So if you have the opportunity, it is on Amazon. All proceeds go to support poetry group here in New York for young poets to come through. So my ask is that everyone please check that out. And right now, I see AJ Houston is on the line. So right now, I'm gonna bring AJ Houston on. Um, I just heard from Ja. He's having some technical difficulties. I see you. I see you, brother. Good evening.
What's up, my man? Man, John been saying a whole lot of great things about you, man. And I don't know, Ja is like hands down greatness in my book. You know, he said a lot of great things about you.
I appreciate it because the love and the respect that I have for that brother, it knows no bounds. And I'm gonna bring also my man, Mr. Witz, Brooklyn. What's up, brother?
Peace, King. Peace. How you doing tonight?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. So good to see you, brothers, up in here.
Man, likewise.
It's gonna be serious. It's gonna be fire. I
got my tea. I'm ready.
Hey, brother, Hurt, let me tell you something. Every day, like we almost talk every day. Me, Jai, and Mr. Witz.
I love it.
And as poets, I hate talking to Mr. Witz because he's gonna make me have to write something that I'm not. And Jai gonna read something that's gonna make me have to write some notes and write something else. I'm like, I'm gonna get 2 or 3 poems from talking to them that I hadn't even planned on getting today.
But bro, that's what it does, right? You got your brothers that are uplifting you and challenging you for better. Like as black men, that's what we should aspire, right? How many of us really have that in our circle, right? Brothers.
Seriously, man. And you know, to be able to do that it's like a every morning thing with me. Yeah, he just called me, but I couldn't answer because I'm on the line.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's my brother. He trying to see what's up.
That was John. John say, y'all own? I say, yeah, we own.
Yeah. He just texted me to let me know that he's having some technical difficulties. But listen, I mean, we're gonna keep the fire going. Like this is what we do, how we do. So, brothers, like tell me, I'm gonna start with you, AJ. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do. Ja is here. My brother, good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
So good to see you. We having brother AJ just start us off who he is, what he has going on. I put a teaser out there for those who are watching, for them to just tell us what poets have inspired them. That's our icebreaker. What poets have inspired them? Someone put Nikki Giovanni in here, which is
definitely
dope. I mean, I already know. So AJ, I'm gonna start with you. Tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, because I already know the bottom 2. That's Brooklyn right there.
Yeah. Well, my name is AJ Houston from Dallas.
Okay.
Right now, I live in Las Vegas. I'm a writer and poet. I'm a publisher. I do creative writing classes. I work with youth of all ages, and I call them youth of all ages because knowledge is power, and we need to always be learning.
Always, bro. Well, especially
onions. And I write every day. I just published my ninth book. Title of the book is Still Black.
Yes.
You can see it's Still Black. It says we are still here. It's a black book, black pages, and the still is EEL because it's they keep filling us with lead, thinking melanin makes us still, saying we're dying from lead poisoning.
Oh, listen.
Come on.
Nah, you already told me, bro. You already told me that, I don't know if I sent out enough warnings to my group members, but I already know the fire is about to drop, Ja. So I'm going to swing it over to Mr. Witz. Brother, tell me a little bit about who you are, what you do, and yeah, tell us about Brooklyn, East New York, baby.
Indeed, I got you, King. Like you said, my name is Mr. Witz. I'm one half of Granny's Boys. We've been in this poetry game for about 8 years now. It's coming up on 8 years. When we first started, we started from our own venue, pretty much not knowing where to go or what to do with this game.
Right.
To making some amazing things happen. So I'm definitely proud. It's been a journey, man. Like I said, we went from the open mic to doing slam competitions. I'm a member of Respect the Mic Slam team, which my brother happens to be the coach. I've been a member of them for 4 years. It's actually 4 years now, and that's amazing. I got 3 books published. I don't know if you can see them, but I'll pull a couple to the screen. This was my first one.
Right.
2 Generations from Slavery. Then I did a haiku book for those that need those short reads. I got a haiku book called Witty Haikus by Mr. Witz.
Okay.
And just before we got shoved in the house for quarantine and everything, I had released a erotic poetry book, and it's called Sheet Wet with Witz. And this was perfect for a lot of people who was trapped in the house, like my brother. You know, he don't made a baby. You know, so I did that right on time for the baby makers. You know, sometimes you
reading that, brother.
He was acting it out. He was acting it out. I think she was reading it. He was acting.
I love it. I love it. And I have 2 Generations from Slavery, the link, the Instagram. I got your Instagram up here, Mr. Witz. Love you, brother. So glad you were here. My bad, AJ. This is AJ's Instagram. AJ Word Artist. Listen, support these brothers. And now I'm gonna swing it over to a cat that, man, I don't even know how long we go back, but I know we've had some conversations that have shattered the world. My brother, Coach Josh Smalls, bro. Welcome.
Oh, bro, it's an honor to be here, man. Thank you so much for even taking the time to acknowledge us to be in this presence, to be in your world. I'm just grateful to be here. It is amazing. The vibe is amazing. And I don't know, I'm not even ready for what they're about to bring. I'm just here, you know, trying to fill in the little gaps and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Right.
But it's always an honor to be your presence.
Don't believe it.
We go back, man, and we always have
don't trust him.
Conversations.
Yeah. Now he's gonna know, Ja. Your brother gonna know, man, because brothers will call you out.
Yeah.
You like, man, listen.
Yeah, we do this all day, every day, man, and it's just us 3. It's amazing. It's like we grew up in the same household for real. You know, I definitely tied to that one, but it's like AJ was in the back room. He the reason we got our ass whooped several times. So, you know.
I love it. I love it.
Now, but I'm gonna tell you the pen movement, man, is unreal. Because see, I don't believe you can ask anybody what inspires them, because inspiration is inside, it's in spirit.
Yeah.
So anything outside of you is motivation. So, but these 2 brothers motivate me so much, man. I told John the other day, we started trying to say, hold up, man, I got to change clothes just so I can write a new poem. I can't write an old poem and a new poem in old clothes.
Bob Black for Life. This again, unscripted. This is Ja. Tell him every conversation I've always had with Ja has been unscripted. Tonight, unscripted, because you can't script what's about to go down. Like,
and you might want to have your pen and pad ready, because there's some things that you're going to learn, some things you're going to feel. Go ahead and get your tea, your coffee, your moonshine, whatever you need. Go ahead and get ready. Get that ready now.
Mr. Witz came through. He came ready. He's like, I got my tea.
I'm on deck.
Ja, tell us a little bit about what you do. I know the work you do in the community, in the Charlotte community. I mean, I've lived there for 14 years back home in New York and Queens, but we still are connected. Tell everybody the amazing work that you are doing down there in my other city, Charlotte.
Witz and I, we started Granny's Boys some years ago. We're going about our 8th year that we've been actually doing events. And so I've learned to, people started calling me coach before I became a coach. And true story, I didn't want to be a part of slam poetry. I'll be honest. I did not want any part.
I remember you said that.
Mm-hmm. And I met a poet named Blackberry. And I always give her so much props, because she introduced me to what slam poetry is. And slam poetry had grown me into becoming a creative writing coach. I've It wasn't even something that I planned, right? Not something I thought about.
Right.
It happened. And what I do is I teach people. I kind of give people, you know, like Hansel and Gretel. There was a Hansel and Gretel where they had to leave little tidbits, and you had to follow your way through the path.
Yes, sir.
I drop little tidbits so you can find your way to you. So I don't teach you to write about, you know, things that you don't have an experience with. I don't believe you can write from a place that you haven't experienced truthfully, because it has to become a lie at that point. And so I try to teach people to write about themselves, and then later on show them how it helps them with their mental health, their mental stability, and things like that. And so that's basically what I do. All my workshops are really designed about self-improvement and obviously moving your pen, right? But if you can move your pen within your story,
right,
that makes your story more important to you, because now you relive some things that you probably never talked about before.
Oh, man. And Ja, you know, I know you are unapologetic about talking about how life almost ended for you, right? Yeah. I mean, we talk about, me and you, we rap about that, and like you talk about how poetry also has saved you, because you got the days, man, with the pain from the bullet still in your body, but you're able to take that pain, manifest it, like you said, through that pen, and you put it down. Drop that information, brother.
One of the things that I had to, I was gunned down at 19, right? Someone trying to rob me for my DJ equipment. I was a DJ way young, so I had to live with a bullet in my jawbone. 3 other bullets hit my body, but the one in my jawbone is still there today since I was 19. I'll be 49 this year. And so there's not a moment I don't have pain in my body. There's always discomfort. There's always some nerve issues. There's always some headache. Why I keep coffee instead of taking aspirin, but that's another story. But there's always some discomfort that I live with daily. And I had to get to a point where I had to understand that this is life for me.
Right.
But it doesn't mean life ends and stops here.
Come on now.
And so it's what you do from that point. And so I learned to, the more pain I'm in, the more I want to write.
Gotcha.
And I try to teach people that you can write through your pain. It doesn't take your pain away, but it gives you something else to find some sort of a balance with. And so if I'm mad about the trial that's going on now and I'm in pain, I can take that pain and write about this trial. You know what I mean? And so I try to help people understand that, yes, we all have different walks of life.
Yes, sir.
Things affected you differently than it affected me. However, life doesn't stop.
Amen.
And so I write through those pains. I write through those challenges, and I take my possession of me back.
I love it. I love it.
Come on, bro.
AJ, you said you're from Dallas. You're now in Vegas.
Yeah.
How did you connect with these two brothers right here, man?
Man, let me tell you, one day I believe it was a live, and I saw Mr. Witz on somebody live, because he would always come in and say, "Who naked up in here?"
And I saw the merchandise. Yes, I saw it, brother. Yes.
He'd always come in and say that. And then I heard his poem, and it reminded me. I start hearing bits and pieces of my poetry in his portrait, so he's been stealing my shit for a minute. You know, and you don't really catch the thief until the thief start trying to, you know, exhibit some of the stuff that they done borrowed, you know.
Yes.
But then I got his books
and 3 times with it before you recognize anything. It's mine now. It started off. I got his books, and I discovered that so much was like stories the way I write stories.
Got you.
See, the portrait I write is basically, I write from a historical foundation, because I've been writing all my life.
Yes.
So I always tell people, I say, I used to write like you, so you can go find it if you want to. But what I write right now is not from me or of me. It came for me before I can offer it to you.
Come on.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. Because I'm saying, because lessons aren't easy.
Yes. Yes.
So, but I'm saying I have 2 black books, two black books with a black cover with black pages. The first one is a black book.
So I could put that in the chat so that we can support you. Listen, we're 172,000 strong. Buy Black for Life. I need y'all to come through for these brothers right here. All right. let's get their book sales up. It's National Poetry Month.
Yeah.
Let's support our poets, not just this month, every month, because they are the truth sayers, right? I know these brothers are the truth sayers. And when history looks back on all that we've been through the past 4 or 5 years, history has a way of romanticizing things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We will gracefully talk about the horrible things as though it was easy.
Right.
Come on now. Yes.
But I always tell people, I say, today I'm writing my best poem because I need you to hear my new poems. So it's going to excite you so much you're going to go back and buy all my old poems.
Bruh, listen, it's going to be time for that. And I need everybody to come on, put your name in the chat, put where you're watching from. Again, the icebreaker, what poet inspired you? We need you all to come through. Mr. Witz, you are also the merch man for all things Granny's Boys.
Indeed. My brother is very much behind the scenes with a lot of things. Don't think he's not involved. He does a lot of the technical things that help it move forward. So he's definitely a major part of it. But I'm definitely the creator, doing more hands-on with bringing forth the actual merchandise.
I love it.
It's fun. I love it, and it's always been a passion of mine. Mm-hmm. Dealing with not only being an artist as a poet, but being an artist as a drawing
artist, yes,
physical artist. You know what I'm saying? I was never really good with painting. Painting never really picked up with me, but I can draw very well, hand-to-eye coordination. So I think that's where the clothing designs first began.
Okay.
You know, I was drawing images and saying, well, that will make a nice shirt. Well, that will make a nice shirt. And before you knew it, I do 50, 60 images saved up. And we still aren't even in those. We doing the new stuff. So we still haven't even dug into any of that. So yeah, it's a lot coming from Granny's Boys as a unit.
I love that. Yeah. Job, man. You know, I don't even know what to say with this team you have, but one of the things I want to talk about is poetry slam, because a lot of people want to know specifically what is poetry slam.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So good question. So slam poetry is basically performance poetry. That's in a nutshell, to make it so that everybody can understand it. You're actually performing a poem rather than just saying a poem. It's more than just reading a poem from the book. You're actually living this poem. Mm. And then you should have 5 judges who are not poets or have never been to a slam or may never even know anything about poetry and definitely don't know the poets who are performing. Those judges have a scorecard like the Olympics, 0 to 10, and all the decimal points in between. And so you're judged according to how the poem affects someone who is not a poet. So your best poem may not be the best poem for the night.
Gotcha.
But that's up to the judges. And so that's basically what it is in a nutshell. To kind of sum it up, because we can go, and AJ tell you, because AJ been in slam poetry longer than I have. There's a whole lot of aspects to it. But to just make it kind of plain, and don't get us to talk about slam poets, because that's a whole nother, that takes 2 hours.
No, but the one thing I want to add about slam, see, slam, in slam, you have 3 minutes with a 10-second grace period to perform your poem. It has to be an original piece.
Gotcha.
But what slam does is slam refines your process, because in rap, you know, you have a lot of rappers that they get a dope hook and they want to keep repeating the hook. Yes. Or you have somebody with a verse, or you didn't hear me here, you didn't hear me, let me repeat this line. And slam don't give you that time. You don't have time to repeat something. If you didn't say it right the first time, gone, you missed it.
Yeah.
But slam forces you to reveal how tight you hold your pen.
Mm.
Yeah. You know, what is my vision? What is my vision for this work right here? Did you get that work?
Mm. Yeah.
Love that.
So it's the difference between saying the sky is pretty and saying there's an orange moon sitting in a purple sky.
Got it.
The big difference in saying that. And so I can say, oh, the sky was pretty. If I tell you with some orange sitting in some purple, your mind automatically tricks you back to orange and purple.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
And basically for me, right? So I wrote a poem myself that I did in a group, and you know, I'm part of a writer's workshop, and we were challenged to write something talking about something we've never shared with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, what it was talking about my oldest brother who died of a drug overdose at age 35 in 1999. And I was in tears as I'm writing this, man, because like, Ja, you know me. I back down and am scared of no one, nothing, right? But my oldest brother, that cat scared the life out of me because I seen him do work, right?
Right.
So for me, it was, I wish I had in me now then, because we would have been throwing hands for him to be able to get off drugs so I could have him here with me today. Yeah. So I was able to articulate that and put that on paper.
Yeah.
Be able to share that with my group, man. So I'm not going to call myself a poet because, you know, I'm not there. Y'all cats, here I come.
But let me comment on that. Yeah, you know, we all about to get on your ass on that one because
a poet is just a storyteller that tells his stories different.
That's it.
Gotcha.
Everything you experience in life, and even the things you don't experience, is poetry. Right? Us just sitting here, if we decide to just stare at each other, that will be poetry.
School me, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to we get lost in the labels. Labels is what got us. Right. That's how they trap us off. They put us in a box. So now it has to be done a certain way to be considered even a portion of that, right? But everything in life, I don't care if it's arts, I don't care if it's you cooking, I don't care if you're making shoes. It's all done in a poetic fashion for it to come to fruition.
Yeah.
You know,
the creator of all things had to be a poet.
Had to be.
How else could you make water wave like this?
Had to be. Had to be.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
How do clouds never come back the same?
Never do.
You know. So
I always thought if in the beginning was the word, the poet was there.
The poet was there,
but this is, I'm just gonna drop this and leave it alone. We're gonna go on. But if the beginning was the word, that means that the word was just our beginning.
Right.
There was a beginning before ours.
Right.
Had to be.
Yes.
Had to be.
Yes.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying they're talking about this beginning, not the beginning.
Right. The beginning.
So, I Black, as you can see, there's fire in this group right now amongst these brothers, man, and I'm definitely here for it all. Like, this is amazing. And any one of you, if y'all are ready to drop something on my people, please do. Let's go, because I know they are ready. And the chat, I don't know if y'all are seeing the chat, man.
I can see. Yeah.
They giving y'all love. California in the house.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Love. Listen, I love me.
I'm the youngest in the room. I might have the most grades. That's because these dudes stress me out every day.
That just means you gotta slow down.
Off, bro. So yeah.
that just means you gotta slow down. That's all. Slow down.
No, I used to blame it on the kids. Now I blame it on these two.
That's okay. You have somebody to blame, bro.
That's it.
Shoot, I'll go first if y'all want me to. I'll go first.
You was the first one in the room, brother.
Okay. Tyler's piece is A Conversation with Heaven. If prayers could speak, these hands would not need to participate, would not be greeting each other with such aggression, would not be sweaty, would not reach down as far as they can begging knees to join a private session. I could hear my elders say, praying is a full body activity, even when no words are used. When it's just the dancing, just the jumping and the screaming, we close our eyes and bow our heads to the four winds because the address is unknown. The first thing I would ask heaven, do not let my boys watch the replay of hate. All them Confederates and Klan, them looting the Capitol, prancing back and forth, high-fiving Confederate flags, hate back in business, back popular, like when President Wilson praised the first birth of a nation. Claimed it's like writing history with lightning. Not that hate is not an American citizen. Did not captain the first vessel, capture the first batch of Africans for practice with the king, first batch of niggas for free labor in the fields, from swinging from the trees. I would not tell them hate graduated magna cum laude from every American university. Hate has been president at least 44 to 46 chances. We've been trying to get this shit right. If prayers could speak, I would rid myself of these cuts and scars on my tongue for them prayers unanswered. On my knees from years demanding at least the angels listen. Been trying to get heaven's attention since Emmett, since Trayvon, since Huey, since they've been killing niggas wearing Klan white or police blue with no sign of let up or quit. If prayers could speak, I would whisper in the ears of each one of my sons. You see, I've been hoping. I keep praying. You didn't watch when America threatened America. When a black policeman was not the only nigga protecting the Capitol, being chased, spit on, despised, sent running through the building for his life. When niggas was not the only color invited to the gallows constructed on Capitol property, I would tell my sons it's hard enough to remember to keep your head down, to not speak up when an officer calls you boy, calls you nigga, claim it can't be your car, this ain't your neighborhood, your parents don't live here. I pray you know the hush when demanded you get out of your vehicle. They got the okay to shoot. If you black, if you look threatening, if you pass puberty, if you look educated, like you might know some shit, look like you've been attending all your classes in high school, been taking college courses, might be a father, somebody's son, somebody's grandfather. I hope you know where they stopped you. They stop you because the only violation they can ticket you for is nigga driving, nigga breathing, nigga sitting, nigga standing upright. If prayers could speak, I would ask why the clouds over my house look backed up. Look like there's a backlog of pain, of tears. Why the sky keep answering, ain't nobody home in thunder? I would ask, how come niggas keep singing by lifting all these voices when can't nobody breathe? Keep looking for some swing low, a new Moses or Barack, searching for a river to wade in, searching for a train or some boxcars underground for some help as we still singing old Negro spirituals. We still Negroes. Still plantation living, still wearing chains, still answering the master. If prayers could speak, I would take my time. I don't believe angels understand nigga English unless we slow it down. They might be American, might have that systematic up there too. Ain't nobody gone and come back and tell us nothing. If prayers could speak, I would just keep praying like my mama told me. Like it don't matter if they listen or not. Like you gonna hear me eventually. Like Jacob, I ain't gonna quit till you bless me. Like this bush ought to be burning by now. Like these rocks ain't gonna speak for me. If prayers could speak, I would tell my voice to grow a set of hands, put them together, and speak for itself.
Yeah. Woo! I'm telling you.
Oh, brother. You scorched the earth with that one. Right, for real.
Appreciate it.
I scorched the earth. Thank you. Woo, bruh. Listen, the love in the chat. You get it, brother. I'm loving this.
Yeah.
Woo.
Exactly. AJ, that was so hot. I ain't even do nothing and I'm sweating.
Yeah,
Like, this shit don't make no sense.
I thought it was just me.
I thought it was the tea. That shit, first line, I took my blazer off.
and Mr. Witz, you getting
I
love
love that
that
piece.
shirt in the chat. So I'm gonna put the link for where folks could go to get your merch, bruh. It's
Facts.
right
Get
here.
the merch.
Buy Black for Life, right here on the screen. I will put it in the chat. Come through for these brothers, because listen, they deserve love. Listen, I made one telephone call about doing this. Only one. My man said, yo, he said, I got you. I was like, he's like, what do you want? I said, whatever you bringing, bro. Unscripted. Whatever you are bringing, I want it. I trust you. I love you unconditionally as my man. Bring what you got. Here we go. Next up, who's next?
I guess I'll go next. The beautiful thing about it is we inspire each other so well that somebody can do a poem and we can follow it with a poem that kind of makes sense to go with. And so the name of this poem is I dreamed about freedom last night. So I dreamt about freedom last night. How it might sound if it was real, if it was free, if Black people had a chance to hear its voice. I once thought it never had a last name, which explains why I couldn't find it in Rolodex, in Yellow Pages. Seems the only way we saw her was in white privilege. Never thought of it past a dream. Something old folks love to say, but can only find it in the liquor store on the bottom of a gin jar. I once saw freedom as a portrait, too ugly to sell cheap. Can't auction it off to Black folks because we can't afford it, no way. Not without a loan, a lien, 20% off coupons, without master saying it's okay to sell it to us. See, I've learned freedom costs too much. So you had to get you some early. Couldn't die on her anything. I knew she didn't like me. Couldn't like us, Black folks, African Americans, those who can only call her name but can't tell her fragrance. Don't know her hairstyle. Don't even know her complexion. If freedom walked into this room, we'd probably cuss her out. Not knowing she was here to save us, to bring us light, swing the baton at anyone who tried to hurt us. I bet we would argue who she was. Find a way to make her find a way to make Christ have something to say in it. Have to ask the church if she was holy enough, tithes right on Easter Sunday. I bet freedom has her own God. Sings melodies from heaven when it's bedtime. Freedom probably parties all night long. Owns stock in Netflix. Her chill has a sound like laughter, like forget-me-nots, like over the river and through the woods. Freedom has to be a fairy tale, like Never Never Land. Stories that begin with once upon a time, because Black folks never have a place in them. I bet your freedom is disappointed. Pissed off at segregation, pissed off at Black folks who wanted to see white folks things, wanted what white folks got, wanted to ask white folks for everything. Pissed that we would keep calling for her, but never head in her direction. We'll sell her out for new clothes, for a bag of weed, prescription drugs, any religious figure, anything that doesn't say we should vote. Buy Black. Support Black. Just be Black. Freedom ain't got no time for us. Must be a woman, because men don't know how to keep giving chances, can only explain open hands, can't pray properly, pray with our backs too damn tight to fix anything. Ain't no way freedom ain't no woman. Got her hair laced up, credit report in her hand, claiming babies that ain't even had yet. I know freedom must be a woman. And maybe this is why she's still standing. But I'll be damned if I ain't gonna find me some.
Listen, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. This is mate, bruh. Woo, man. And again, the chat is on fire right now. As a matter of fact, AJ, I'm gonna just put this out there. Someone wants you to read when we will listen. Just to put that out there.
Oh, how can we listen? Okay, I got How can we listen? Yeah, I got.
That must be Miss Betty. That must be Miss Betty.
So the love is amazing in the chat, well deserved. And listen, I'm gonna ask each and every one of you once again, please support these brothers and all that they do, all that they have going on. They go around the country. Mr. Witz has competed around the country. Ja around the country. AJ around the country. We need to support these brothers. Come out, because poetry, right? We like, these are truth tellers. Better than hip hop to me, because what you're saying, you can understand.
Don't do that. Don't start, John. Don't start, John. You know one of them old lawnmowers that don't start good, but once it gets started, can't stop. Okay, don't start, John, man. John like one of them old lawnmowers. Don't do that, man. Don't bring that.
Talk about this for a week straight, okay? Because I'm an old school hip hop, right? So what I'm hearing now, back when I was making music, you could not play that. Sorry. Just my feelings. So I'm just gonna leave that right there. Mr. Witz, man, your show, baby.
Could you imagine being innocent, charged and found guilty by a prosecution that wants to take away your life? And your best news comes when your lawyer tells you you're not at risk of being executed within the next year. Could you imagine the fix of breaths flowing through your lungs at the sound of another 365 days as you look in the face of the man the law firm has sent out to reevaluate your case? You can only hope he's genuine in his fight for your freedom when it seems no one is there to be in your corner because you're already guilty in a systematic eye, which is the very reason you were incarcerated in the first place. And his words are as fancy as his designer suit, leaving you to question whose side he is on, knowing the only suit they want to see a black man in is the one issued by a correctional facility. Will he believe you when you tell him you really didn't do it? Or are you guilty to proving innocent in his eyes as well? Because you know some lawyers will trade your innocence for a not guilty verdict in a future case. Just imagine waking up with a throat full of rocks, like someone had funneled gravel down your throat, with your heart racing your mind like an Olympic tryout, leaving you to question which organ will give first. But none of this matters. All things considered, your life expectancy has been given a due date, final meal, final song to accompany the emotion, yet you fight back the tears of being wrongfully accused as the guard buzzes in and the cell locks open. The jingle of his shackles sound just like slavery, and they handcuff your wrists along with your ankles to deliver you down this long hallway. 2 guards on your back like a means to escape. If they're brave, what are you? Staring death in the face. The stench of injustice is the paint on the walls, and it's all in your clothes like a smell you can taste. See, it pains beyond restraint when you're made to be the fall guy. Melanin backdrop like a sheet of bullseyes, like your skin has conspired with everything unlawful, and there's nothing you can say to get this targeting off you as you sit across from this lawyer. It's hard to speak to him because he's all of the reminder of how it will all end. So your anger reappears in the wrinkle of your forehead, and his sympathetic friendship is lost in his grin. Then the CO crashes in, eager to gift you with his bracelets and deliver you home, meaning back to your cell. You can't help but feel helpless to the prejudiced man of your spirit and body as your eyes start to swell. You can only look back at him like you have nothing to lose and pray that his next visit will bring better news. But you and I know better than to count on his ethics when it was one of his colleagues who had written this sentence. Could you imagine being innocent?
This fire, and not FIRE. FIA, fire up in here, brother. Wow. Listen, I just have a question for each of you, right? What is it that each of you wants your poetry to do for those who hear it? I'm gonna start with you, Mr. Witz. Come through.
Yeah, straight up and down, man. I write about injustices, so I write to save lives, and I'm just hoping that through my messages, it would I don't want to say lead you or guide you or because I'm not going to say that I truly want that responsibility to say that I'm to blame for the choices that you make, but I want to be able to give you that window of acknowledgement that you may not have paid attention to, that you may not have got a chance to peek into.
That's deep. Ja, what about you, fam?
I don't know if I have something that I want my poetry to do specifically, but what I want to happen is 150 years from now, 200 years from now, there's a little boy or little girl who reads a word that I've written and decides that there's something I need to do for my people. And this may be 150 days, 150 hours from now, 150 seconds from this moment.
Right.
But I write knowing that when I'm no longer here, when my fragrance has left this earth, there is somebody, some person who's going to hear word, and they don't have to worry about it being of a specific religion or political party, just a word about humanity. Yes. But more importantly, a word about your Black essence and the importance, because I think we keep forgetting that we come from the dirt. And I tell us all the time, ask someone who has goldstone to show you the stone that came out.
Yes.
That's an actual stone. Nobody eats dirt.
Right.
But you have a stone come from your body. Your body refuses this because you are of this earth.
Yes.
I want someone to read a word for me that reminds them where they come from. And as AJ would say, I want them to walk on a land that their feet feel like it's home, that their feet feel like they belong to that land. And that's something that AJ says all the time. That's what I would like to see from my words.
Love that, brother. AJ, how about you, bro?
Well, first I discovered last year during COVID that I'm not really a poet. I discovered that I'm God's echo.
Yes.
I just take dictation slow.
Come on.
So sometimes I can only write what I get. So it might not be the whole message. So if you want more than that, you got to talk to God.
Yes.
But other than that, what I want people to get is that this is us. How can we see ourselves as being home if we haven't participated in the things that make this home? When Barack Obama was elected, it was 61% voting. We were happy. I played sports. I don't know any coach tell you to get out there and give it your 61%.
No, sir.
So I want to see what it looks like. Yeah, I want to see what it looks like for us to vote at 100% one time. One time, 100% of the legal age voters, registered voters, 100% voting. Let's see what that look like. Let's see how America would shake. It would shake in its privilege.
That's right.
It would shake the Confederacy off them flags.
Let's be clear. From last year's election, it's already shaken. That's why.
Yeah, I'm saying, and that was only like 72%.
They are. Let's be clear.
Yeah. That was only like 72% though.
They are shook.
Yeah.
So that should tell us exactly what our vote means. That they want to intentionally take it from us as people. Us. When they say that they pass a law that says for you, if you're standing online, I could go to jail if I give you some water or some food, something is not right, y'all.
But even deeper than that, 17 attorney generals decided that they wasn't talking about their state. They wanted to make another state's minority votes not count.
Exactly.
So I'm thinking that these 17 attorney generals, we need to know where they are. We need to know why the people in their state allows them to still be attorney generals.
Yes.
Come
on now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Ooh, bruh. This is fire. And I'm just gonna do, since you had a request, AJ, I'm gonna just do one more swing around if y'all are open to it with the time that we have left. Y'all are cool with it.
We ready to give y'all what y'all need. We got enough in the chamber. You just tell us when it's enough, because we got it. We ready.
Bruh, listen, this is just week one. This is week one. right? And I'm gonna open this up, and Ja, you and I could certainly we could rap about this. I would love, as we're doing this, to have some poets that are in each of your circles come through and drop a word.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So that could be what we drop next week.
Yeah.
If y'all are cool with that. Because listen, poetry, as you said to me, Ja, has saved your life. Poetry is going to save lives up in here. So I'm on fire about what it is that we're going to be able to do with this. So one more swing around. AJ, I'm gonna start with you with the request that you had, brother.
And this piece is from the Black Book of Black Book, Black Pages, all about us from Africa to now.
Bro, please link to where I could have my people buy that book, please.
Well, if you DM me, I have copies in boxes in here in my room because me and Amazon, we're not dating. We're not, we're not we're in a relation boat. We're not really in a relationship. We're in a relation boat right now, and it ain't floating good.
Okay, but it's on your Instagram where my people.
Yeah, on my Instagram. Just DM me on my Facebook too. Just hit me up because I have copies here, and I will actually send you the information.
Gotcha.
Okay, Tyler's poem is out of the Black Book of Black is How Can You Listen? I keep forgetting to ask, who we marching for today? What t-shirt am I supposed to wear? What name should be on the front? What can I purchase a ready-made sign? These are the things we don't know until someone tells us, until it's posted on Facebook. Tell them again why we're not voting. Why don't we care who the judges are in our communities and districts? Why do we let so many positions for representatives in Congress go unopposed? Are you listening? Tell me why we will video fights and not stop the violence of these youth. Why are you mad at the person once considered your closest friend? Why don't you speak anymore? Why is this venue so much better than that one? How can you listen? How can we hear anything over the defaming of victims in the media, making it their fault they changed lanes, were attacked while jaywalking, looked like somebody else, got caught walking in the dark with his head covered? There's so little truth to discovering lies and so many lies completely void of truth. I can't hear you over the sirens of the last Amber Alert. Sound can't climb, can't jump high enough to rise over the crime scene. I can't make out your words while bodies still lay uncovered in the middle of the street. Yes, I'm angry, but I'm not yelling. I have to speak louder. How can you listen? I know you can't hear me with my hands raised. Over the echoing gunfire from Ferguson to Texas, from Baltimore to Oakland, we can and should never get used to shrieks of ropes tightening in prison cells. Our mother's tears at a news conference explaining her son wasn't violent. He was going to college. He didn't have a knife. It was a toy gun. Lucy's are not drug cartels. They don't deserve chokeholds. I thought breathing was a part of this American dream. How can you listen when it's America telling you what you hear? My ears keep getting misdirected from the last sermon in your megachurch. You didn't grow in the community the building fund was meant to grow. I thought college campuses were safe, were ideal for learning. Cars don't attend classes, missing license plates or a matter for the courts should never be a death sentence. I'm sorry to keep asking. What are we marching for? What new chant, new song, new mantra are we whispering today? They can't hear us on the next street, one town or borough over, the next city or state away. I want to get this right. There's too much blood in this sand on this corner, in this parking lot, on the sidewalks of this street to stay on this path. Which way are we going? Which way are we headed? Where are we leading our children to? I'm afraid to change lanes. Don't want my life to get crossed. We're 13% of this nation, quickly on our way to 11. I used to be good at mathematics until I started counting bodies. How can you listen when it's impossible to hear over the screams of daughters assaulted at pool parties? How can you listen when we're all speaking at once, when everybody already has the answer? I'm angry, but I'm not yelling. I apologize for asking. Who am I marching for today? What t-shirt am I supposed to wear? What name should be on the front?
Woo. Man, that's real right there. When did you write that?
I wrote it. I published this book in 2016.
And we still out here doing the same things.
Same thing.
For today.
Same thing. And I'm gonna tell you, the Black Book is a manifestation of now. I'm saying everything in that book is right now,
absolutely.
and it's
absolutely. I'm marched out. I can't keep up anymore. My knees is like you could do your work behind the scenes, brother. So I'm good. Last time I marched was a year ago for and these young cats, man, I love their fire and I just feel we need to meet our young people where they are, cats like us, so that we could give them guidance. But they are ready, they are lit for, the very next thing in the movement. So man, thank you for that, bro. Mr. Witz.
Thank you.
Okay. Malcolm X warned, they will give you Black leaders to push the white supremacist agenda. Don't be blind within the vote. A system designed to oppress its people will find a way to work. When you eat something that does not sit with your stomach, does their digestive system not vomit or shit? When you pierce the flesh and blood finds an exit, does the circulatory system not pump blood to the heart? The skin, the largest living human organism, a system, will kill off cells to rebuild itself. A system is designed to work together even in the times it fights amongst itself. X warned, they will give you a Black leadership to push a white supremacist agenda. Don't get lost in the elect. A baby pacified is easier to handle than a child bent on rebellion. They will disguise Uncle Sam within Uncle Tom. They will house nigger for you to plow their fields. They will give you a black face, sleeves, and black hands to smack you like white man gloves. They will capitalize, market everything you come up with. They will patent your very life, incorporate business. They will replicate and own everything you are if you buy into their equality. X warned us. They'll give you a Black leadership to push a white supremacist agenda. Don't be blinded by the art. A dancing pack of naive individuals will tune to their demise. They will concert to Pied Piper your children. They will formation you out your use of dollar. They will hole in your walls, rip off your roof, leave you to street and garbage bag tents. They will ill-nature you out your very health. They will escort you out this world with your permission. They will break down a system, IV a people just to instate a diagnosis. X warned, they will give you Black leaders to push a white supremacist agenda.
For sure. Fire.
Wow.
Oh man, that's a conversation you and I are gonna need to have, brother, because I really and truly believe that right there. And it's amazing how they want to pick it for us, right? And some of the time we go along with it.
Most of the time, because even when we think we're moving against it, we're moving according to the plan. You know what I'm saying?
But when it's three walls
right now. Say it again.
When there's three walls and one opening, we just walking toward the opening.
Right. But one of them is just a painting. One of them is just a painting of the tunnel. So you got people just busting their heads as soon as they, you know what I'm saying, upon contact.
Right. Oof. Bruh. Listen, I was warned to warn my people, right? So I tried, y'all. If they're falling out, they need to go get water or something to drink, or you can put fans and air conditioner on. I tried. I've done my part. So You communicated it to me. I communicated to them. It's on them. So I'm going to have you shut us down, brother. Ja.
I don't even know how to follow up either one of them. I'll do this one. I once wrote poetry about love, about pretty flowers and patent leather shoes that dance across hardwood floors on Sundays. I wrote about happiness and how it felt to hear laughter find space in vacancies that fathers forgot about. See, I wrote about life, about raindrops that held windows shut and made playtime forbidden, or not right now answer. That was before Rodney King, before I read a book that left a message for Black men in America. You see, I once wrote in secret. I wrote to patterns of what I saw after my eyes were open. No one told me about this, about sleep patterns and news feeds that held me hostage. No one mentioned that America wasn't fit for freedom, wasn't fit for Black skin, or maybe I wasn't listening. Too busy with sitcoms that could only share secrets through comedy. Richard told us best. Like I said, I used to write poems about love, blinded by the bondage of beaten souls, barely capable of being human, feeling like men versus women versus America. How much does it cost for freedom? How do I pay for something I can't smell, can't see, feels like too far for hitchhiking? I heard it was 800 miles away, that a woman led the trail. I heard it was in a whisper. No one tapped my right shoulder asking me to beg my pardon or to forgive me not. Never saw it pierce the clouds. And maybe freedom has its own sun. Maybe its moon changes colors like chameleons. Maybe it has its own God. God that doesn't speak the king's language, doesn't speak English. God damn it, doesn't know what America is, can't even say what civil rights should be. I bet freedom has a bedroom in heaven. I bet he shares morning coffees with a God who can't see us. I wonder if freedom lives in a poem. If he cleans his face in Lake Minnetonka, I bet freedom never had a last name, never had parents, doesn't know 3/5 taught Black folks that genocide was as common as soft drinks. I bet freedom is a virgin. They never kissed an angel, never locked fingers with puppy love caressing its heartbeat. I bet freedom prayed for Harriet. Cocked rifle, that nigga beater swinging from her right shoulder. I bet he knows Master Tom's address. Probably got his number on speed dial. Probably already signed Christmas cards with "Dear Sir, Dear Madam" in perfect penmanship. I bet freedom cusses every time they play this new rap music. Pearl.com, there's a new challenge streaming on the internet. You see, I used to write love poems. The kind of poems that send grown women back to middle school. Make love songs tickle the secrets that lovers never share in public. I used to love writing love poems until I realized love ain't gonna mean a damn thing until we can at least find a way to find us some freedom.
I'm gonna go jump in the shower. All right, cause Ja, man, let's this. Wow. I didn't know what to expect. But I under expected. Not underestimating the skills of any one of the three of you, because y'all do the thing. But oh my goodness, like my head is spinning. And let me be clear about something. You brothers are inspiring me to put the pen to paper, right? And Ja, you said that to me when we talked in November right here. You said, I want you, instead of typing, I want you to put pen to paper. I'm going to get with that, bro. Yeah. Definitely going to get with that. And I appreciate that. Yeah. Brothers, This is just step one, number one. For Buy Black for Life. And I can see in the chat, folks want more. Like this. And I'm loving it. And like I said, my ask is whoever is in your circle, right? You know how the link works. I know you know StreamYard. We're gonna get it to your people as they come through to read. Let them read, because this is what it should be. Giving our folks the platform to be able to speak a word. And I'm on fire. I'm enthused. Any last words from you, brothers? I'm gonna start with you, Ja. Any last words, brother?
First, again, brother, look, you already know how we are, fam. So I appreciate the reach out. Number one, it's always great to be in your presence, man. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to have these two brothers here. I mean, we call each other all day, every day, and picking on each other about who's gonna make the other one write some stuff, and writing stuff all day long. We have some major projects that we're working on. We're going to become one of our goals is to become the home base for poets to actually for their careers, not just for you to get a book, not just for you to get a gig, not just for you to learn, but we want to be a home base so you can learn how to do what we say, how to poet.
Yes,
because poetry is more than just putting a pen to the paper.
yes.
It's more than winning a slam and winning money. All that's good and fine,
Right.
But to make it short, regardless of what religion people chose, there was poets who wrote the scripture. I don't care what religion you choose. Whoever decided we're going to write the scripture, they went to get the poets.
Yes.
And so what is your scripture saying? And if you don't have a way to make your scripture profound, who's going to follow you? And so some of the stuff that we want to do is actually make poets understand that you are not just a poet. And you have to live that life for that. Unless you just choose to not, you still have that option. Right. But if you choose to be that, we're going to be a home base for that, and that's what we're working on. And I mean, I'm just excited. And bro, thank you,
support, bro. You already know.
Indeed, brother. Indeed.
You know I'm here. Mr. Witz, how about you? Any last words, brother?
Again, my brother said a lot. We grateful to be in your space. Thank you for making this time, putting this time aside for us. It's always amazing being with these two. Like they said, this is all day, every day for us. Like we always got time for each other, and that's amazing. I'm just grateful that we can show that to the world, that make time for each other. Make time for each other. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know, because we can really be lost in our selfishness because we don't understand ourselves. So be so caught up in yourself that you don't think nobody need to hear from you. Everybody need to hear from you.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing that we can give you as being a poet, is that you can voice yourself to everybody. Because everybody has a voice. You need to be heard.
Love
so,
that. Thank
you, King, for allowing us to be in this space, and thank everybody who's in here listening and tuning in right now.
Loving it. AJ, last words, brother.
Man, I appreciate you for sure, man, for the invite. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving us a forum where we could sit down and talk. But I'm saying, like, these two brothers, man, they wrote some in the last couple of days that made me write 3-4 poems. So you ain't even heard the stuff that you ain't heard the new they got. That's the old new they shared. That's the old new. You ain't heard the new. But my goal in this is to teach people how to build a poem.
Yeah.
Because we were taught wrong, a lot of things. Mr. Carter G. Woodson told us a long time ago, miseducation. Nigga, we don't know how far it went, how far deep down it is. So until we understand that, we have to reteach ourselves the things that we've just learned. And we need to teach it in masses. So we need to stop, I guess, being hard-headed enough not to listen, because I'm willing to listen to anybody. Teach me something new. Teach me something old that I already knew, but teach me to do it a different way.
Yeah.
But I really think that our goal is to show that we are a formidable force when we are together.
That's right.
Yes. Thanks.
And especially if in the beginning was the word, don't that make us the beginning?
Come on now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Brothers, buy black for life.
For life.
This is just the beginning. Support these brothers. I'm gonna keep saying it. After this, I'm gonna put links in the chat. Ja always has coffee with Coach Ja, and he's sipping on his coffee, bro.
Yeah. It's always on there.
Just don't bring that New York Giants cup.
Oh man. You better not be no cowboy. Don't you be no
Hey,
cowboy.
we ain't going there. We ain't going there.
Clear.
We ain't going there
I
with.
was a Cowboys fan, AJ.
We ain't going there.
Mr. Witz, my dog's name is Dallas.
Oh man.
When I tell
And my name is Houston. I'm from Dallas. How can it get any deeper than that?
When I tell you silver and blue, I used to bleed it, bruh. And until right here, Colin Kaepernick, right?
Oh, okay. Because you was glitching for a little bit, but you cleared up. You start clearing up.
When Kaepernick took a knee, I have not watched the NFL in 4 or 5. Whenever he initially started his protest, I have not watched. I was out there on Park Avenue protesting with Tamika Mallory when we were protesting against the NFL. I was out there, bro. So I'm about that, right? So I have not watched the NFL, but when I did, my team rocked silver and blue. I've been to that stadium more than once.
Well, I would have quit too. I would have quit watching. I think I would have. At some point, I would have gave up.
Last 2 or 3 seasons, you should have been taking a knee with me. You're a Giant fan.
You speak too bad to consider yourself a poet.
Funny thing though, I can't agree with you. I haven't really, my brother tell you, I haven't made time for football. These things are out of control right now, or shall I say, they too much in control.
So So here's what I want to talk about next week, right? Sports and activism, because like you, since we went into COVID, man, I have not really been able to connect because, to me, my mind is that we should still be working on this activism piece, right? That I did not believe last year that the NBA should have come back. They should have stayed with pushing an activist piece. So I want us to get into that, and I know it's gonna be fire as well. But I just think that that's so vitally important because as people, we dominate sports. And I'm seeing what the women did in Atlanta, for example. I see what LeBron is doing. I just think that more of us need to, when athletes have that agenda, they need to be stronger in what it is that they're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I think until it rings, until the phone rings inside of you and you have to answer it, I can't expect you to answer the call when you don't even know your own phone number.
Yeah.
That hurt somebody out there. That hurt somebody for real.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, bye, Black. I hope you will be right back here next week, 7 o'clock, because it's going to be some more fire, and we're going to have some poets. And if you are a poet and you're not in these brothers' circles, but you're in my circle, please hit me up. I'd love to hear what you got. There's a couple of people that already I have in mind that I want to come through. One that I was talking to you about, Ja. As a matter of fact, if you look on my Instagram page, that's her poem that she wrote about what "Buy Black" means to her. And it's fire. It really is. So love you, brothers.
Love you right back, King. Thank you for your space.
Love you, man. It's definitely a privilege and a pleasure.
And we just gonna act up and do what we do, brothers.
Oh yeah.
For the love of our people, buy Black for life, family. Good night.
Good night, brother.
Be excellent, man. The trust is yours.